Module 4, Lesson 4. Here we go. It's about, the title says, I believe, parallel lines? Is that right? Okay. On each object, we're just going to trace the parallel lines. Now, if they appear to be parallel, they probably are. They're not going to be tricking you on these. So you go ahead and take your pencil, and I'm going to take blue as a color. And I'm going to just trace a little longer than what I see here. The parallel lines that I see here are these parallels. Probably a little thick to mark and highlight. If you use the point of the highlighter, you can. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. This has a ton of parallel lines, so I'm going to take the easy one on the outside and the other easy one on the outside just so I can see them. Now, there's many parallel lines here, right? They just jump out at you. This thing, definitely going this way and this way. Is this possibly the easiest lesson we've had in our lives? Maybe since we began 4th grade? Parallel, right here. Here, there's many. There's actually down here and down here. You can actually call this across the top. There's all these parallel lines that appear in this one. Now, this one, you generally look at this clock, the pocket watch. You're like, oh, there's probably not. But actually, there's little parallel lines, like the top has a parallel line there. These actually on the side, if you wanted to mark these, they're kind of like parallel lines there too. Yeah. This has, which way do you want to go? Which ones do you see? I see so many, I don't know which one to pick. There's one, there's two here, there's two here, there's two here, there's one on the end, and this one here. So I'm just going to go the easy one, which is the bottom of the fence, and just kind of color those in. This one only has the one set, just the top and the bottom. That's all there is.
I know how to answer the next one.
Oh, you do? Cool. You're already on to the next one. And this one just has, you could go up and down. You could go this parallel and that's parallel. Or you could do the long way across. It doesn't matter. How do you know if two lines are parallel? But what is the deal? I see Jackson and Kate. Kate, what do you know? How do you know they're not? How do they know they are?
They'll never touch.
Okay, so two lines, yep. So they're straight lines. That never touch. Now, I'm going to show you a weird coincidence that actually that doesn't really, this might be a 5th grade question, but if you have two parallel lines that, if there are two lines that are straight and never touch, we've got this weird situation called skew lines. Now, here's two lines that are straight. Let's say they go on and on for forever. They're two rulers I'm holding in my hand right now. Now, these are skew lines. These two lines will never touch either, but they're not parallel. Wow, they lie in different, what we call planes. They exist in two different planes. This one lies in this plane. This one lies in this plane. And you can see that they're never going to touch each other. So in 5th grade, you'll probably find out the parallel lines have to lie in the same plane. They have to be on the same surface together to be parallel. But that's just for you advanced math kids. You might hear, in the future, Angela, you might hear of skew lines. You might think to yourself, I remember that from 4th grade. Parallel lines also have to be in the same plane. They have to lie in the same plane. Now, what is a plane? A plane can be thought of at the top of your desk, the floor. Yes?
It's a way of measuring flat areas.
Flat surfaces, right. Yep. When I was a kid, they always talked about the milking stool, which I don't think you guys know what a milking stool is, but milking stools always had 3 legs, never 4. Never 4 legs. The stool that I have rocks. It has 4 legs, but a 3-legged stool never rocks. All 3 legs always sit on the floor together. Milking stool. Because 3 points will define a plane. So if I have 3 points, then I have a flat surface. It's called a plane. If I have 2 points, a plane could rotate around it in a whole different way. So that doesn't define the plane. But once you anchor it with a 3rd point, just like this milking stool, you'll have it solidly in a surface. So that milking stool is in a different plane than, say, the legs on this milking stool are on a separate plane because they have a plane that goes this way. This milking stool has a plane that goes that way. So planes are interesting, aren't they? Just like if I turned your desk over, the top of your desk is no longer level with a neighbor's desk. They're on different planes now.
See?
Does that kind of make a little bit of sense about planes? The plains are also a place out west. Why do they call them the plains? The plain states. What do you think, Tyler?
It's just a flat area.
Yeah, the plain states are flat. Just a flat area, just like a plane. Yep.
Makes me sound like no. It's still on.
Yeah, like an airplane. Plane surfaces, also an airplane has to have a flat surface to fly. That kind of helps you with a flat. You have an aeroplane, you have to have a flat surface to keep your plane flying at a certain plane. Kind of a different topic, but okay. So use your straight edge. Now the easiest way to do this, guys, I always find, is to take my ruler and just lay it right next to the other line, right next to it like this. So I do that. Oh, how do I turn this thing? I always forget. That doesn't turn it. This one does. All right, and put that right down on top of that. Pretty close now. Oh boy, I'm pretty close. Yep, we're gonna go a little bit more. Oh, it's very jumpy, very jumpy. Oh, I can't do it. I'm gonna say this is about as close as I can get. Then take your, once your ruler is lined up with one, you know that the ruler has parallel lines, and just trace the other side. Pretty cool. And then move your ruler out of the way, and you've got parallel lines. Easy enough, right? So go ahead. You can do those right now. You got them, Xavier? You did them? Cool. Cool. You got them all done? Now this one, I just would say, this one you could just, this one over here, I would just go ahead and mark it right across from this one. Where's this?
I'm getting some parallel.
These parallel lines will be on top of each other, but that's okay. And mark these as parallel. So, how do you mark parallel lines to show that they're parallel? You may see these little hash marks. This line is parallel to this line, while this line is parallel to this line. It's a way to indicate which lines you're indicating are pairs. That shows one pair of lines together. That might indicate another pair, so you don't get confused. Sound good? So these two should be the same as this two. They have a relationship. So the way to do it is put little tick marks on the lines that you're talking about. If you see that in the future, it makes sense, okay? This, of course, pretty easy to do this one also. Kind of fun. How do you think, guys? Parallel lines, kind of fun with a ruler? That's not bad, is it? Yeah, okay, pull that one down. Draw your line in there. Move your ruler out of the way. That line and that line are parallel. Yeah.
My lines are not straight.
Is that a pilot error on the pencil, or is that you flying your pencil a little crazy?
The page.
Oh, it doesn't. Oh, the ruler's up off the page because it's bent.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You gotta bring it down.
You got to push your page down. Yeah, it's annoying. You got to put a little pressure on it.
No, you gotta bring it back.
Yeah, and get it back away from the page. Yeah, because pages naturally, when you draw a book, you usually draw the book like this, right? The pages are always. This is really hard to draw something in this area of the page. You got to smash the book down. Cool. Next page. What do we got? Oh, they show parallel lines by using not tick marks but little arrows. That's fine. I like that way too. So they're going to show that this line here is parallel to this line here.
We have ours are up and down.
Oh, you have tick marks like I did the other time? Oh no, you've got the same ones, don't you? Yeah, you got the same marks. I'm looking at your book. Can you flip the page? Yeah, you got little arrowheads, yeah. All right. Now, these are done in italics, but I see a lot of times that AB is parallel to CD. You don't have to do italics. You don't have to make it slanted, okay? So you can write it like that. Looks like H and I, doesn't it? HI is definitely parallel to JK. It's a visual. I could probably measure from here to here and double check, but I'm going to say they look parallel. Yeah.
Is it wrong? Is it kind of wrong because one side's bigger than the other?
No, because actually it's a line segment, and the actual line themselves, if you put arrowheads on them, continue on forever and ever. And so even if this line was that long and this line was that long, this line and this line could still be parallel, even though this one might be tiny and the other one's giant.
What about the line on top of the JK?
This one here, the HI, is parallel to the JK. Thank you. Okay, look good. Nothing here on D, and nothing over here. Those don't have any parallel lines at all. Ooh, this one looks like maybe. A way I'd really check it would be with I could do it with my ruler. I could take my ruler. Oh, sorry about the cough, guys.
I feel bad for you.
Me too.
But you have like pneumonia.
All right, let's measure. Here I'm going to measure in an inch just to make sure.
Must have felt bad.
Okay, guys, right here, fractions of an inch. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 8 little marks on here. So there's 7/8 of an inch here. And let's move it over and see if it's 7/8 of an inch on the other side. Ooh, exactly the same length. Okay, gotta move that right to there. Cool. It's kind of hard to move my ruler so it lays on top of the line. It's kind of jumpy. This side and this side. Pretty close. I would call these parallel lines because they're the same distance apart. If you wanted to check and make sure, you could also measure this way. That looks like it's an inch and about a 16th. An inch and a 16th. Okay, so these are all the same distance apart. So we actually have 2 sets of parallel lines. Mr. Yanko.
Mr. Yucky, you like our tic-tac-toe?
I love it. Okay, yeah, so we've got 2 sets of parallel lines here. It jumps out at me. Now you got to remember, Angelina, don't mix these up. Look at this line. This one's called what?
ZA. ZA.
Go ahead, Angelina. What's this line called? This line segment? No, the name of it.
ZA.
ZA. Good. So I want to talk about ZA. Is what's the parallel one to ZA, Angelina? When you look up here, you see one? FW is parallel to FW. We got to watch out because ZA is also perpendicular to AW. Yeah, but we're not doing perpendicular, we're doing parallel. So we got to remember which way we're thinking. Parallel means they're not touching. Perpendicular means they run right into each other. Zeta.
Look at G.
G. Is that the...
It's that last one.
Oh, the last one? Okay. So we're going to say that there's none in this one. We've got one that we listed here out of the 2 sets. We could have done AWZF here. We got these 2. We could have done these 2 also. You're saying look at G. Okay.
It's got a lot of it.
Okay, so this... Whoa, this one has a lot, doesn't it? Is this G? Holy cow, yeah. So let's do this. Go arrowhead, arrowhead, double arrowhead, double arrowhead, triple arrowheads, triple arrowheads. Okay? So I used to do, when I did it in school, though, we always did tick marks, which are easier to draw. I would just do it like this, though, guys. You could say this one and this one, this one and this one, and this one and this one. That would be an easier way to mark that. Arrowheads get to be a little weird. I like the tick marks better. I think either way you can do it. Yeah. This one and this one are parallel here.
We have to choose one and write down like 3.
Well, did it say in the instructions just to write down one of the parallel lines?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's pick SR. I'm going to pick SR as parallel to OP. How many people are finding this one to be pretty easy, pretty simple?
I spelled the word S-P-S.
SROP, SROP?
No, S-T-O-P, stop.
I get it.
Oh, strop, strop.
Strop and strop.
Dropping down this story.
How about X? YX is parallel to VW. I like that one. We're done with that. Is there? Is it pretty? How many people would say they're having an easy time with this? Oh, what's this? This might be the. Is this the last page of it? Okay. True or false? I like true or false questions. A triangle cannot have sides that are parallel.
Yes.
True. Because anytime you make 3 points, any kind of 3 points that you connect with lines, those 3 lines intersect, so they always hit each other. We want an object that has lines that don't hit each other. So it could be that weird thing that we draw like this, and that would be parallel.
Is that a rhombus?
That actually could be called a trapezoid. Trapezoid has just 2 sets of parallel lines. The other 2 are not. It's a 4-sided object. It has to have 4 sides. but the four sides, only two of them, excuse me, zeta, only two of them can be parallel for a trapezoid. The other two cannot be parallel. So could you say, is this a trapezoid? Yes. Okay. How about this one? Explain why A and B and C and D are parallel, but E and F and G and H are not. So why did these not count, but these do? Why are these okay? Yes, Kate.
E and F are tilted.
Okay, so that means what's going to happen?
They're going to touch.
They're going to touch eventually, right? What do you think? Somewhere out about here? Let's find out. I'm going to extend them with my magic line maker here. I'm going to extend this line all the way out to here. And I'm going to extend the H and the G all the way out to here. And you can see that, yeah, they do end up touching right about here. Someplace out in space they're going to touch. Pretty far away. So even if my lines were slightly parallel, eventually they're going to touch way out there, maybe in Livonia someplace. They'll run into each other, right? But these look like they're really good. The other ones look like they're fine. Yeah, A and B look like they're what? Equal distance apart, right? The same distance apart. Okay, always the same from here to here, from here to here. So these will never touch because these are the same. Would you say same distance? Okay. These are the same distance apart, but this one is short here, and it's longer over here. So these are not the same distance apart the whole length. So you know they're not parallel. Is that a good way to explain it? Well, they like you better, I guess.
We have like a whole page.
Do you have a whole page to draw a line using your straight edge? Now use your right angle template and a straight edge to construct a line parallel to the first one. Now a right angle template and a straight edge to construct a line parallel to the first one you drew. Okay, so what they want you to do is not be able to do just a cheater method like I did where you drew on either side of the, but they want you to draw a straight line. Okay, just start with a straight line. Now, what they're going to do is have you use your straight edge tool, which do I have that in shapes? Do I have a half circle or a quarter circle here?
Can't you make a?
Can I make a quarter circle?
You had one yesterday. Yes. You made one.
Did I?
I know how to do it. There's a
yeah.
quarter right there.
Excuse me, there it is. Oh man. Oops, that's not very good. Oh, we're making another one. Does that look right?
No.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
So here's my what you have access to. You have one of these, don't you?
Straight edge.
Yeah. So take this over here somewhere along your line.
Middle.
Yeah. Put a dot at the origin of the angle here. This is the angle. Put a dot right there, and put a dot way at the other end, and then move your little template out of the way. Okay. Now you're going to draw a straight line down. Could be in the middle too, yeah. So now take your ruler, lay it along those dots, and mark a straight line. Were you able to do a really good? This would be an intersecting line, okay? Okay. This is an intersecting in a right angle, so it's called a perpendicular line. Right? Now we're going to make another perpendicular line even further down. Grab your little template again, like this, and you can put it along the side. Oops. And mark a dot out here at the end, and mark a dot at the origin right there, and then move it out of the way. When you have two dots, what do you have? You've defined two dots define a line, right? Okay. And let's see how close are how close are these other lines to being parallel? Let's see if mine are even close.
Whose band lessons are now?
Look at me. I don't think I did very well, but not bad. Not too bad. They're off by a little bit, but that's not bad for having a piece of paper, huh? You got yours exact? How many people were able to do it exactly, construct a parallel line? Cool. Jackson was able to do it at the end of his ruler, I think. Is that how you did it, Jackson? Okay, so Jackson says you can also, where's my ruler?
I got it without a ruler.
He said take the end of your ruler and you can use that as your, oh, I would have been better off with a ruler, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
He said take the ruler, line the end up, then draw your perpendicular line, flip your ruler around. Let's go this way.
I did.
And you flipped your ruler over?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
I think I got it.
And then drew the lines, then drew your line through there.
Boys. They're sword fighting.
Yeah, you are.
I just watched you guys.
Okay. I guess I would have to draw a dot at the end of my ruler down here, but I did not do it. Okay, is that the end of it? Is that how you did it? Okay, cool. And then we have an exit ticket. Cool. All right, we'll stop right there.